realize it. And it's not even that maybe that you, it's not yourself, you that are, but the people that you're dealing with and that you're surrounded with are, that makes it that rough week because they're untouched, they're ungrounded, they're unbalanced, you know what I'm saying? And,
right.
And it gets put in your way, you know, and then you take it on, and it's, sometimes it's hard for some people just to, you know, turn around and walk away. I'm really good at that.
That's good. I got to remember that.
I have learned that my time and my energy is valuable to me, and I have children who depend on me, you know, and I don't want to go around taking on other people's feelings. I'm not saying that I'm not compassionate. That's not it at all. You know, there's those people who are just energy vampires, and they thrive through drama or whatever to use your energy for themselves.
Absolutely.
And try to pull you in. And I just, you know, like I say, I keep up my shield. I don't exchange my energy really with anybody. You know, only
that's
a couple
good.
of people. And I won't do it because I don't want to get pulled into that. I don't want, you know, my children need that. You know what I'm saying? They need me. So I'm not going to let this stuff affect me. So
very good attitude.
I will walk away. And like I said, I'm not saying that I'm not compassionate. I'll listen to people. I'll try to help them. But the minute they're going to be like, you know, really, you know, just continuing it without wanting to change it or, you know,
help themselves at the very least.
Help themselves, exactly, you know, or try to push something up on me. It's like, well, if the issue's with you.
I've been there. I've been there with people too, and you know, they kind of sit there and they go, "You mean I have to read this entire thing? It's all about you." Oh, come on. Well, you know what? You can lead a horse to water, but if you can't get him to drink, I've met you halfway. Now you've got to learn about yourself. I can't read it for you. Yeah, some people, it floors me. You know, it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Those are the energy vampires.
I've told a lot of people, you know what? You're an energy vampire or you're out of touch. You need to get grounded and balanced, and if you want to continue this way, maybe you need to seek professional help. And I've ended it. Boom, that's it. Because you know what? I'm not going to deal with it because it's their drama. What is it? They say it's their monkey, their circus, not yours. Right? And I just, I won't do it. I just won't do it. You know, if I just can't. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. Perfect I am not. You know, I'm not perfect. You know, and I have my days where I just, you know, I could be exhausted or I could, you know, feel like I'm feeling a little bit bitchy. And that's when I'll stay away from people more, you know, because it's not with them, it's me. You know what I'm saying? And,
no, I know.
And I don't want to, you know, you just...
Well, usually your negative days.
Yeah.
Every human being has 3 times out of the month, and I am not talking about menstrual cycle, gentlemen. When I say this,
I mean, that's
three times out of the month, there's these 3 days that everybody goes through a down, and I call it the low biorhythm, and they're having a down day, and I see it with psychic mediums, I see it with astrologers, and anybody, doesn't matter. They don't understand what's going on, and it's like, you know what? It just means you need to take time for you. No readings, no nothing. Regroup, meditate, focus on yourself, and walk away. More and more people need to read. Stay grounded.
Stay grounded. Stay healthy. You know, just soak in that good energy, and you know, and it's not that you don't want to, you know, see people or anything like that. You know that you need that break, and so take that break, because the last thing I want to do is I don't want to be bitchy to other people, you know, when the issue's with myself, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do that. I think too many people use so many excuses to be nasty to other people, or, you know, that to me it's just ridiculous, you know? So you know that you're not feeling, you know that you're that way or whatever today, or maybe for an hour, so take some time, walk away, get out in nature, listen to some music. I listen to music all the time, and just get your shit together, so that you're not affecting other people. It's plain and simple.
Isn't that the truth, though? Some people's negative energy can just bring everyone, the whole house down, everyone around them down. Some people pick up on it more. Like, I'm the kind of person, I can walk in a room and feel it. And I can look right at the person and go, oh, God, it's you. You're the one with the energy I don't need.
Yeah, exactly. And I will avoid that person. I will. I keep my shields up. I keep my shields up, and I find it so important. I have my crystals on me. My rings are protection type rings, and I don't fall into the trap. I refuse to.
That's good. It's very good, Renee.
I do. If I pick up on somebody else's emotions or feelings or feel an illness, it's not me, and I don't own it, and I push it off immediately.
Good. That's how it should be.
It's just because you can't go through life doing that. There's no excuse. You can be an empath, okay, and you can pick up on this, but you can't own it, So you see a lot of people who say, "Oh, I'm picking up on this," and just no, it's your responsibility to not own it and push it off, because you're going to affect the lives of the people around you, and even those people who care and love you, are not going to want to be around you. So you have this ability. You need to learn to use it properly and push it off. You don't own it.
I agree with you 100%.
It'll affect your relationships and everything.
Oh, it does. I agree. I've seen it happen to people.
Yeah, a lot.
I do have a question. What is TVC? Can you explain that to me just a little bit?
Transcendent Vibrational Communication is where it's a soul communication, similar to that of a disembodied voice from the spirit, right? Where you collect an EVP, but it's from the living, it's not from the dead. So through a soul projection, to whether it be a location where, they're doing an investigation or anything like that, you are literally projecting your spirit, your own soul, to that location. And what you're doing is you're communicating with them through spirit box or whatever other apparatus that they have. And it's verbal communication, not using anything, any sort of electronics or anything on the end that the psychic medium or the person who's doing this is. Also through a telepathic communication. So there's so much that we're researching and we're really getting into.
Cool.
This and really delving into it. But yes, I come through very clearly. And it poses the question of, because our souls are eternal. And so even when we pass, all of our traits, everything about us stays. You see what I'm saying? It's all encoded into our spiritual DNA of our soul. So we know a lot of stuff. We're very intelligent. It's in the physical form where we block ourselves, we forget. And it's being able to bring all this back out, everything that we know, everything that we learn, and so when you do the TVC, you're actually coming through. It's your voice. It's your soul voice coming through. And you can give information. And so I do it a lot on investigations, but I'll like not intentionally sometimes, but then there's a time like, okay, we're going to play. Here we go. And then we'll do it and we'll record and everything else. I have a great group of people working with me on this. It's pretty amazing. It's just amazing.
Now, are you the only few investigators that use this technique, or are there others?
As far as I know, there's not anything recorded anywhere of this being actively done, yes.
Wow, so you're the first. This is very cool, Renee. Awesome. Well, that's very interesting. I can't wait sometime when I'm on the East Coast. You're going to have to show me this. I'd like to see it.
It's really cool. And it can be anywhere from 1 mile away to thousands of miles away. I've done it overseas. I've done it. Of course, Memphis is a big hit, target area too, where a good chunk of the team is. Also, down in Indiana, I do it a lot there. I've done it in the UK with a couple of teams. Where
I've done a lot of traveling with this.
Astral traveling. I'm off from my home, off from my home or whatever location I may be in. But I don't get to travel much, unless it's, visiting.
Well, you're a mom, so I tell everyone around me, I went from going to Italy and England and Hawaii and places like that. Now my trips include camping, Disneyland, Disney World, things like that. Yeah, that's what my traveling consists of now.
I go to Pennsylvania to help out my girlfriend a lot, or sometimes to get away, for me time.
Absolutely. It's beautiful up there, I hear.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you another question, but before we get into that, and I didn't really want to do this till the end of the show, but I got news just while I was on air. I saw this, and I don't know, Renee, if you're familiar with people bullying others in this line of work. I'm sure you are. There's been a lot of bullying that's going on. But we have a radio host at this network, and she's also a paranormal investigator who is in dire need of some prayers right now. Her name is Shawnee, and she has been diagnosed with I believe it's a terminal brain tumor. As of today, she's lost vision in both eyes. She's been bullied on the internet. I don't know if you all saw my outrage on the internet a couple of days ago where I exposed this person and said, hey, stop doing this. Sisterhood of the Paranormal host, Tammy, was doing the same, saying, how dare you do this to this person. So what I want, Renee, I know you have some beautiful angelic power, is I just want everyone out there to send her some prayers, some healing. I hope she gets through this. And, like I said, she is a fellow D.T.M. Host and also a paranormal sister, and no one should have to go through this. And while she's going through this, no one should be bullying another person.
Right. It's really difficult. There's a lot of this going on the internet, and I feel really bad that she's experiencing, the physical difficulties that she is, the illnesses and stuff, and of course I'll help her and see what I can do, from my end. As far as the bullying and stuff, there is so much of it around. It's such negative energy, and you cannot fall into that trap. People are going to be ass-hacks no matter what. You always have the good versus the evil. It's always going to be a battle. And negative spirits, the battle is here, people. It is here, whether you want to believe it or not, it is here. Okay? And these people are put in your path as that of the negative side, Mm-hmm. And it's the battle. Now, there's two things that you can do. Okay? You can waste your energy and time and try to fight it, and it's going to continue, and it's going to go in a circle, and everybody's going to stagnate. And what have you done? You've drained yourself. You made yourself tired. Maybe you made yourself even sicker or anything like that. You've worried, right? Or you can ignore it, and this will go away. It will go away. And it's really important, because these people thrive off of the drama of trying to hurt others or say things that aren't inappropriate. If they have a reputation for doing stuff like this, well, then they've got that reputation. and it might not be good. I don't know. The thing is that if you know it,